Hey man, just giving you a quick call. I just wanted to let you know that you are so close, dude. You're so much closer than you think. A lot of these big goals that we've had and these big aspirations, they're right around the corner for you, dude. So you just cannot give up. So stoked for you to see this. P.S. We bought a Lambo. So keep going, bro. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Bryson. This is the Bryson Everyday Project podcast. This podcast is a little bit different than other ones out there. Here, I only focus on documentation. I don't focus on quality or being professional or being entertaining. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love for you to stick around and give the show a listen. You can also follow me on Instagram at BRQUSE. Thank you so much. Here's the show. I gotta capture this because frustrating. There's a guy, I'm just gonna keep all of this anonymous. There's a dude on a team I'm trying to help. He's looking at the client list and he's trying to find a certain client's name. Her name is Melinda. This guy cannot find her on the list because he's looking where the M's, where he's looking where some M names are and assuming that that's it, which I guess I understand that's fair. There's a bunch of M names. Melinda should be with the M's. I get it. And he's like, it's not here. Can't find her. And she's not on the list. And so I go on my side and I look and sure as shit, there she is. Clear as day. So I'm like, hey dude, looking at the screenshot you sent me, we both have 124 clients on the list that we both see. So she's there. So just sort it. Then he sends me a screenshot of it not sorted and says, she's not here. This is all the M's that I have. And from that alone, I was like, I know that it's not sorted because for one, it starts with Myra, M-Y, and ends with Mandy, M-A. It's not sorted. If it was alphabetically, fucking Mandy would be on top. So now I'm going back and forth in a public group chat. And I'm like, dude, do you see the sort button? The arrows? Have you ever been on a website before where you sort shit? From highest to lowest price, newest to oldest listing, most mileage to least mileage, A to Z, Z to A. Have you never, ever in your fucking life done that, bro? If so, if he's not, my bad. But he has, 100%. He's a grown male living in 2025, 100% has used a feature like that on a website at least once in his life, probably 500 times. And I just, because for a while there, I was like, fuck, dude, like, why are they not showing up? Because I got a list from 2 people in this group chat and they said, hey, we're missing these clients. And they sent me a list of 10 clients. And I'm like, oh no. So I go in there and I'm digging deep. I'm like, why are they not showing up? And I'm like, I can't figure out why they wouldn't be showing up. So then I go and look and they're there, dude. They were showing up. They are there. And so I was like, well, wait, why are they not seeing it then? So that I had to explore that possibility of they're there, but they can't see them. And I was like, oh, you know what? It's probably because when they click submit, they disappear for the week. Then they come back when they click the blue button. But I'm like, no, that's not either, because we can still see the total amount of clients each coach is assigned. What the fuck is going on? And so I sent a message and I'm like, hey, all these clients are there. There were 2 actually that were a mistake, but that's because I didn't have that info to start with. So I go and put those in and I explain, whatever. And I'm like, the rest are there. And then that's when all this started of, hey, no, it's not. I said, yes, it is. Look right here. He says, no, it's not. Look right here. And I'm like, click sort. Like, dude, oh my fuck, bro. Like, there's a letter L name after, or there's a letter K name after the M. HIJKLM. It's not sorted, bro. Oh my Lord. So I sent a screenshot of the sort button. I literally, Command Shift 4, got the sort, or screenshotted just a little part where it's the filter, the sort, the automations, magnifying glass, expand, and settings. screenshotted that, sent it over. I said, hey, is this highlighted for you or is it gray? And he must not have seen that when I sent it, because he sent me the thing afterwards that says these are all the M's that I have. And still, 10 minutes later, he has not read the message that I've sent. And I'm on standby waiting to help him fix this shit, because I don't want to get going on my own stuff and then come back and then have to get interrupted. And I just, for fuck's sake, dude. So anyway, I was kind of freaking out because I'm like, dude, I thought this was bulletproof. I thought this was good. Where are the clients going if they're not going? So I checked every automation, verified everything, actually improved some things in the process of doing so, but everything was good. And so I'm shitting bricks thinking, oh no, dude, I made some shitty stuff that, doesn't work. What do I got to fuck? Turns out it's just user error. They don't know how to sort. And if they don't know how, that's fine. But like, I don't know. I don't even know where it's a table. You just sort it, bro. Highest to lowest, biggest to smallest, most to least, A to Z, Z to A. That, I feel like that's universal with any kind of table ever in the world. You just click the, I don't know. Have you ever used a computer before, bro? I think I'm just more upset because I thought my shit was broken, and to find out that all of this mess is because homie didn't click one time on a button that is clearly marked sort, bro. That this is the kind of shit that just I get so upset. I give this example every time that I say something like this. I could crash my car and I'd say fuck. But this motherfucker doesn't know how to click sort, bro. Dude, I don't know, bro. This makes me want to quit working for this team completely. Hey, bro, I like to work with smart people. You ain't got that on your team. I'm out, Fuck. Just the brain power that I had to go through to figure out that homie wasn't clicking a button. God damn it, dude. Anyway, not to mention, you when you click the result, when you on time, late, missed, skipped, whatever, you click that button and then there's a button that says submit. Nothing happens until you click submit. This motherfucker probably hasn't clicked submit once. And I explained that to him. And it looks like he is still not submitting. I don't know. I don't know, dude. And I just wanted to capture this because holy shit, got me feeling some heat in my blood a little bit. But anyway, I'll probably finish this show off later. I don't really have much else to say right now. So, yeah. See you in a sec. All right, I'm back. I probably not going to record much right now, but I wanted to capture some shit. So, I guess I'm burping 30 times, but 34. So I just stood up from laying starfish on the ground underneath my desk that is now standing with my chair pushed to the side, staring at the ceiling, okay? Because I'm working on the sales and leads tracker thing, and it just became a fucking monster. And that's just such a recurring theme, dude. I'll be building something, and then I realize this is a fucking monster. And it gets really complex really quick because I want to make it just give so much information and data to this person using it that it just becomes absurdly valuable with all the numbers that you can see. So what's going through my mind is, the VAs who are using this, they're going to find somebody to message them, then they're going to log it in the tracker because that's currently what's happening. I know I've seen the process with Trey, so I know that that is one workflow. So seems like it works because these VAs get thousands of lines of data per month. So I'm just trying to replicate that because it works. I know it does. It's great. And matter of fact, they actually got that for me because I gave them the spreadsheet to begin with. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that. So I designed this from the start. Well, anyway, I'm thinking about this and I'm like, okay, so I want this to track daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and then quarterly because this is valuable information for a business to have. And with the outcomes for the call and how many times we send a DM, how many times did we send the link to book a call, how many times did we book a call, how many times did each outcome of the call happen, all this stuff. I was getting so overwhelmed with looking at all this shit on my screen that I took a pad and pen and went and sat down and I started writing stuff out. And it has actually gave me a lot of clarity. But in the process of doing this, I came with more ideas of how I can make it even better. And then I just stumbled upon the fact that there's going to be, so Trey's VAs, they get about 5,000 rows of data in an Excel file for 1 month. So in a year, it would be 60,000 lines of data, okay? Now, assuming that might be below average, I don't know. We'll just say 100,000 lines of data per year. We'll just say that. That means that progressively, with time, I guess I didn't need to say on time because progressively means that, but it's just going to get more and more and more and more data inside. And will that slow it down? Like, is it going to slow down when there's 5,000 lines of data, let alone 100,000? And so I thought, well, how the fuck can I prevent that from happening? And then I thought, okay, well, it would have to archive clients, monthly. And then I thought, no, because certain clients, if a client gets into the system on the 30th, they're not going to be archived. Like, they need time to be in the system. Like, even the last 2 weeks of the month, like, they probably should still stay in the system. So then I thought, well, then it's just going to grow and grow and grow, and nothing's ever going to, get removed or deleted or whatever. It's just going to get bigger and slower. So how can I prevent that? And then I thought, okay, well, I'll just make a filter that, after 30 days of no contact, it just archives automatically, or however many days. And then I looked into it, and apparently that doesn't change the speed. It just changes how much is loaded. And I don't know the difference, because if it can show me 50 lines of data versus 100,000, I feel like, because it's all one database, it just chooses to show me. It just shows me how much there is based off of what I load. So I feel like that would still be a beast. But I have this database that has 3,000 lines of data in it, and truthfully, there's no problem. It's still very smooth. Like, I'm able to scroll back and forth. There's no lag at all. I can click things. It's instant. Click can change things. Instant. The only lag that I notice is when I try to move the column, like expand the column lengths. That's when the fucking thing lags. See if I type in somebody's name. Yeah, that's instant as well. Matter of fact, let's try something out. I'm going to make an automation when any property is, so when the full name, when lead 30 is checked, I'm going to edit property number. There's going to be another formula, so we'll say day between now, inbound, away. Date between now and inbound, date, comma, days. Okay, it's valid. Okay, so now I just wanted to build a quick automation. So the automation with 3,000 lines of data inside is going to show, hold on. So if I edit, what is it? If I edit lead, 30-day follow-up is checked. Okay, let's try it out. So if I edit this, how quickly does it put in the information? I clicked it. That actually wasn't that bad. It's loading 3,000 lines of data right now. Let me actually scroll to the bottom, make sure that it is. So the whole dilemma with this is that I want this to be future-proof, because I've seen it with my own two eyes. Trey's team puts in so much data into a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet lags like a mother. and I don't want to sell something to someone and it just be dog shit in a year. And so, because the reason why I know this is going to be massive is because when I was talking about how it tracks daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, and then quarterly, that right there, the yearly thing is not so much. It's, just going to be, it's going to be easier. But when I track, so the quarterly, that's four quarters, daily, weekly, monthly, that's 7 data points for each thing that I have to track. So I was like, okay, so sent a message, sent a link, booked a call, no show, canceled, rescheduled, ghosted, all that stuff. So all that times 7. And then I thought, well, I don't even have a lead source in here. So we're not even tracking where the lead came from. That's valuable information to have. So we have to do that. How many different lead sources could there possibly be? And so I just put it into ChatGPT, had it give me a list, so I didn't really have to put much thought into it. And we have Instagram, organic, Instagram DMs, Instagram paid ads, Facebook organic, Facebook paid ads, Facebook Messenger. Now I feel like these are very specific. I'd probably just do I'd probably do Instagram story, reel, DM, I don't know. But so what I'm trying to get at is there's like 50 that I could do. I mean, like an ebook, a giveaway, email, webinar, paid ad, a landing page, podcast, email newsletter, a referral, a cold DM, inbound. Like with everything that I just said, it was outbound or was it inbound? Was it because we sent them a message when they followed? Like, what is it? And so everything that I mentioned earlier with tracking 7 points per metric, everything that I just said here, if there's 30, 40, 50 different outcomes or, I'm going to have to account for those. So 40 times 7, that's 280. That's 280 columns of just formulas just for this. And so I'll just round up because I'm sure it's going to be a beast. 400 columns of formulas with 10,000 rows of data. That is going to lag like a motherfucker. That's what I think. And there's no way for me to actually test that out either. I would have to, because you can only, I think I know a way. I would have to make it in a spreadsheet in Google Sheets and then import it as a CSV file and then run those formulas. But just not even trying to make the formulas, but making one and then duplicating it. I can only duplicate one at a time. So I would have to, there's no convenient or easy way to set this up. So there's no shortcut either. I mean, if I want to track all this stuff, which I want to, because this would be extremely valuable, I'm going to have to figure this out. And it's just going to be massive, dude. I don't know what to do. Now that I know about this, there's no way that I'm not going to do it. Like it's going to be insane. You know what I mean? Like I have to. There's no way that I don't. So I just got to figure out how to do that. And moments before I got up and started recording this little part, I sat there and I'm like, well, this is why I'm going to be able to charge so much, is because it calculates and automates so much shit that it would be like hopefully someone sees this and they're like, oh, absolutely, I'll pay whatever, because it tracks so much. And so, just reminding myself that this is going to be a bitch, and it's probably going to take me much longer than I anticipate, because when I first set out to finish this leads and sales tracker, like my goal was like, okay, I'll get it done, a couple days. I don't think this will be done for like weeks, because there's so much that goes into this, and I only have limited time. And if this is one thing, like the sales and leads tracker, and obviously this is bigger by default, but see, okay, what just went through my mind? I'm making this, and if I want to track the data and put it into the business metrics thing, I'm going to have to essentially do what I just said twice, so that it accounts for that, and there's a field for each metric. Dude, holy fuck. I kind of want to just hire that out, like making formula or making properties, so I don't have to. Dude, there's no way to automate that, is there? Let's see. Is there a way to automate? Is there a way to automate a database? Wait, is there a way to automate the creation of 500 properties inside Notion? No, Notion has no native feature to mass create properties. If you really need 500 properties, your only option without third-party tools would be to create one property manually, duplicate it repeatedly, still manual clicks, but faster than starting from scratch each time. Duplicate a database that already has the properties, then clear the data. If your goal is to hold a lot of values, 500 separate properties is usually a bad design. It's almost always faster and lighter to use linked databases, relations, or a single multi-text property instead. Thanks for calling me out. If your goal is to just hold a lot of values, 500 separate properties is usually a bad design. It's almost always faster and lighter to use linked database relations or a single multi-select text property instead. Well, dude, see, like, it doesn't know what the fuck I'm building, bro. This is all one thing. It's not like I'm separating it's all one thing. It's a lead. Where do they come from? There's no way to, how would I automate, how could I organize it from each lead source and then track the outcome of each thing? So everything that I just said is a different database because it logs it into the database that then tracks it, but then it rolls up. What, dude? I don't know. See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I still got to put in time for PT Dom today. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to pause this project and continue on with PT Dom stuff. So it's so frustrating, dude. Like I spent all this time thinking and trying to figure this out. I make headway and now I got to stop. I got to move on to the next thing. Oh, fucking horrible, dude. Holy shit, dude. All right. Well, I don't know. I'll figure it out. But, part of me just wants to keep on going with the smaller projects and get those done to feel like I'm making some kind of headway. Other part of me wants to just finish this 100% and then move on. So it's like the biggest, baddest pieces of shittest thing is done and completed, and I can say that I did it and move on. Because at this rate, like, I'll never finish this. I'll never sell it. I'll never get it market ready because it's so big. But I got to remind myself that this is, I wrote it on my whiteboard right behind me. This is supposed to be frustrating. That's why you sell the solution. And sell the solution, indeed I will, especially for a high ticket. So with how much work I'm putting into this and how much it does, it's funny, I was about to say the word hefty for a hefty price, and there's a person on this list. His name is Aaron Hefty. I'll be able to charge an Aaron Hefty price for this thing. I don't know, man. This is insane. I just gotta buckle down and get it done. That's all I gotta do. And it just seems like so much. I actually paused right there because I was a long, awkward silence. Also checked to see if I was connected to my microphone, and it says I am. I don't think the audio sounds like I am, but whatever. Yeah, so I don't know, man. We'll resume on this. I'll probably just keep on wireframing it just so I can have a visual using Fig Jam. Haven't used that a ton, but it's just a flow chart, mind map software where you can kind of put your thoughts out and, put a little box, draw an arrow to what that box goes to and what that box goes to. And if that's yes, then this happens. And if that's no, then this stops. And just, I think mind mapping is the best term. So I'll probably just do that for a minute, and then I'm going to work for PT Dom, and then, yeah. Just massive. I wonder if I could hire someone to help me with this. Because this is fucking massive. And if I did anything, I'd probably just do freelancer shit and just say, I just want you to build this, like no ties. Thank you. Because truthfully, all I need is just about 500 automated formulas. I mean, I can do it myself. It would take, I don't know, if I make 500 formulas, they'll all be duplicated and I'll just change a few things. 500. I think I'm being a pussy, dude. I can absolutely do that. I'm just being a giant pussy. That's exactly what it is. But I still would like to... Sorry, I was throwing a tennis ball in my hands. Still would like to hire some shit out so I don't have to do it and I can focus on other things. But I don't know. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to take a little breaker. I'm going to take a little break. And then when I say break, I mean go on Fig Jam and start mind mapping. And then I'll dive into PT Dom stuff because I have on the calendar 6 hours for them today. Still moving stuff around. I'm trying to find a good match, but that's what I got today. Oh man, dude, just a lot. But anyway, I'll probably be back later. All right, I'm back. Maybe 30 minutes later, I used ChatGPT. Who would have thought to brainstorm how I could simplify? Because it said, I mean, I read it out loud, but I'm going to just go back to it because it called me out. It said, if your goal is to just hold a lot of values, 500 separate properties is usually a bad design. And so I was like, okay, well, how could I improve the bad design if I want to do something that requires that many? And then I went in to record, I don't know, 2 pages worth of voice notes explaining the goal. And it gave me a whole bunch of shit in response, of which it didn't help at all. And then it did say something about counting certain roll-ups. Now, a roll-up just grabs all of one piece of information or one data point or whatever from an entire other database and totals it up or averages it or whatever I want it to do. And it said to do that and then make a formula that counts each one. So rather than making the 8 different properties in the main database for 1 point, you know what? Holy shit. This saves so much. So rather than making 8 per 1 point, it now counts it based on the roll-up. So I save 8 roll-ups now. So 1 roll-up, well, hold on. Wait, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is going on, dude. I'm going to pause, though. I thought I had it figured out. I guess I don't. All right, and I'm back. It's the end of the day. It's 9:22. It's August 13th. Happy birthday, Jake. Happy birthday, Mina. And, yeah, it's August 13th, 2025, 9:22 p.m. And we are at the end of our day. I'm going to say that today was one of the shittier days in the last few weeks. And I started off not waking up on time because my phone updated in the middle of the night, and that made my Unbed app not work because it was no longer active or whatever. So I woke up around 9, so that sucks. I guess my body needs sleep if I'm sleeping in that late, but it was closer to 8:30, but whatever. I actually went to bed not on time last night. I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was just doing stuff on Notion and screwing around, but I know that I put my phone down and it was 11:30 because, I wasn't on my phone, but I had the flashlight on. I was actually doing some Rubik's Cube shit. I was trying to figure out some. I was trying to get fast with those. I timed myself again and I got 1 minute, 16 seconds today. So getting faster. I don't know how to get faster other than just getting lucky with how the cube presents itself, because there's certain steps sometimes I don't even have to do because it's already done. And I don't know how, I don't know. My fastest time is, I think, 1 minute, 6 seconds. I guess it's all sixes. Or 1 minute, 3 seconds, 1 minute, 5 seconds. I don't know. and I don't know how to get faster. It would have to do with actually turning the sides, because there's only so much I know how to do with. Anyway, I'm not even trying to get into that, but that's why I went to bed later. And then I woke up 8:30-ish, so I guess it's not crazy, but yeah, I didn't, shitty start to the day. I also woke up to a few texts from Trey's VAs saying, hey, we got some time discrepancies. These are wrong. We got to adjust them. And I was just trying to be polite. I'm like, hey, so is there something wrong with the system, or is there a glitch? And they're like, oh, no, it's all user error. I'm like, okay. Hey, this happens quite often. What can I do to improve the system to make it easier? And the people said that it was their hardware and that it's slow. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't really do anything about that. So woke up with that. Then I got 3 texts from Trey. One person said, well, this is actually going to reveal who I was talking about earlier, but got a text from 3 people. It was 2 coaches from Trey's team and then Trey himself. One coach said, hey, there's a list of clients that are on my list. Another coach said, here's another list of clients that are on my list. Trey said, hey, we need this done ASAP. And I'm like, okay, hey, good morning to you guys too. Hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. Oh, I'll get to it, and it's just, waking up, dealing with that. All good. I got my car fixed 2 days ago, and that clicking sound, it's back, but it's unpredictable now, so it's different, but it's back. And now I don't like the idea that I paid for them to fix it, and then potentially they didn't, so it's kind of frustrating. And I would just hope that when I go back in, they handle it, because if they fixed it, quote, fixed it, and they didn't, I shouldn't have to pay for it. But I drove off. It's been a couple days. I just don't want to get screwed. So tried to call him this morning, no answer. Texted him on the app, no answer. Got a text today reminding me about my appointment on August 11th. It's now August 13th. Got a text today about the August 11th appointment. The fuck? So now if I make another appointment, it's going to be another couple weeks. Matter of fact, if I were to go and do that right now, could I do that? I think it's a little bit more work than I want to do right now. So we'll worry about it later. But I probably couldn't get in until the end of August for sure. At least 2 more weeks. At least. So that sucks. Not super worried about it, but I just wanted to make sure that it doesn't turn into something worse. What the guy said when I got it repaired was that it's nothing major. It's the half shaft, so we can just take the tires off or whatever, push those in, put the tires back on, or the hubcap, whatever the fuck it was, I don't know. And it's good as new. And I was like, oh, cool. And he was like, oh, yeah. Like, matter of fact, when we got in the car, we backed up. He heard it click. He's like, oh, that's it? And I'm like, yeah. And then he put it back in drive to pull forward because we were done. And I was like, well, it makes other noises. And then we went and drove. So it was like quick. Like I feel like the drive was almost felt like he had to appease me by going on the drive. Otherwise, I'd feel like he wasn't listening to me. And in all reality, it was he knew exactly what he was going to do from the start. I don't know. So that sucks. What else was there? Yeah, I think I just woke up late, got bombarded with some shit first thing in the morning, and that just was ass for sure. And I think just that combined with the fact that I worked through the break time that I had today. So where I would normally take a break, go grab some lunch, hit the gym, stuff like that. I worked through that. And I felt good knowing that I kind of made up those hours because it's an allotment of 3 hours. Let me make sure that's what it is. Let's see. 12:30. So it's 2.5 hours. I shortened it. Please go away. There we go. So 2.5 hours, and that is actually the same amount of time that I lost this morning from not waking up on time. So made up for it, but just working from 8:30 till 9 sucked, dude. Like straight, no breaks. I mean, like I took breaks. Like, right, I got up, went downstairs, got some food, made some eggs, made some sausage, whatever. Came back up, kept doing my thing. Took a little break, put a box together, put some stuff in the box. Maybe it's 20 minutes. I don't know. So it's not like 12 straight, pure, uninterrupted, great productive hours. But that's all I did. And that didn't really work well for me today because, first of all, I woke up late, so I didn't get to work on my own shit. I was scheduled to work on PT Dom stuff this morning for 4 hours so that I could work on Trey stuff for 6 hours in the afternoon. But because Trey shit took up so much time this morning, it was like 3 hours. So by the time I'm all done with that. It's closer to 11. And I'm like, I'm supposed to be done working for 4 hours for PT Dom in an hour. So what I did was like, okay, well, I'll just switch the shifts and I'll work through the break. So that way it's easy to, whatever. And just shitty. I was dealing with I was working on the ideas that the lead stuff that I was talking about earlier. And I did find a better way. It's not crazy better, but it is better nonetheless. And I think it does require a lot more. I don't know what the word would be. There's a lot more going on, but it is definitely less intensive to create and to build and to structure everything. So rather than, I was talking about the 8 data points or the 8 variations of one data point. So if somebody clicks a button that says they sent Bob Smith a message, that's going to log it into the actions log as one thing. Then there's going to be another property that looks at the date that happened. And if that date is today, it returns 1, meaning, yes, count it. That happened today. This is today's thing. If it is not today, it doesn't count it. So it's 0. So it doesn't add up for the daily. So then we have another property that looks at the week. Did this happen during the week? Another one looks at the month, year, quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, all that. What I discovered, though, is that I can just I can make one column result in all 8 of those, and then I would have to make a roll-up for that in another database, which means it just pulls that column, puts it into the other database, and then I can count it with formulas. So if I have 10 days where I'd send a DM to one person, that would result in the... Dude, I straight up feel like someone's breaking into my house, so I'm going to pause and figure out what the fuck's going on. Okay, no one is breaking in, dude. I just hear everything. Lexi gives me shit for it all the time. We'll be doing anything, and I'm like, "Did you hear that?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Fuck, it's clear as day." Yeah, it sounded like there was just plastic being thrown all over my kitchen, and then booms. I don't know what the fuck it was, but we're good. Weird. Anyway, so rather than doing all that, rather than making 8 formulas, I only have to make, or 8 properties, or whatever the fuck, bro. I only have to make 1. And then in the roll-ups, I'll still have to make each individual one to count, to showcase the count for each thing, which, it is what it is. Or what if I, no, would that work? No. Either way, I'm going to have to make one property to represent the number for each of the different variations of day, week, month, year, quarter, 1, 2, 3, 4. I even thought about doing first half, second half of the year, just because it would make it an even 10. And it's just more data to track and whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to be smart about this, but the more I can get, the better. But figured that out, so that's good. And I'm actually going to do that first thing in the morning tomorrow, because that's what I'm working on. And I'm just really trying to explore ways to make this so that somebody can go in and customize these things. We have the different. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. We have the different outcomes. So we have no show, canceled, ghosted, rescheduled, showed, deposit, showed, no sale, showed, not qualified, showed, not interested, and reminder sent. We have all those. But what if somebody doesn't want the showed, not interested? What if somebody doesn't want the ghosted because they don't have that? what if somebody does want, they showed and got hung up on? I don't know. What if somebody wants that? Well, that's fine because that's what they pay me $1,000 a month for, right? But that just means more shit for me to do. And it just kind of makes, like, it's not an easy thing to just go in there and just add that option, because for every option that I add, I then have to go into, I fucking mapped it out. Hold on, where did it go? Where did I put that? It's in test page 9000. So database 1 is where all the leads are and where shit happens. So that's where the VAs and stuff will work. Database 2 is the action log, which populates from database 1. Database 3 is the daily reports log, which populates from database 2 via automations. Database 4 is the weekly reports, which is a roll-up from database 3, which I don't think it would be a roll-up. I think it would be automated. Yeah, for sure it would be automated. Yeah, absolutely would be automated. I'm going to fix that real quick. And then database 5 would be monthly reports from database 3, and that would also be automated. Would that be automated? I don't know. I'm actually going to leave that big. I'm not sure. Then we have database 6, 7, 8, and 9 that are the quarter 1, 2, 3, 4 reports, databases, whatever, from database 5. So I would have to go through and create one property in each of these, add everything to the multi-select feature, add that recognition into the formulas, and then make a new property in each of the spots for the quarter 1, 2, 3, 4, monthly, weekly, daily, so that it can be tracked. And then with all of that, put that into the business health tracker so that that's tracked. And just what a pain in my asshole, dude. And so I'm trying to explore ways to future-proof it, and that would be to give things names in a separate database and then assign them, for example, option 1, option 2, option 3. So if they click, no-show, it populates as option 1 on the back end, and then I only have to change the names of those once rather than, 20 times for each one. That way it gives the freedom for somebody to make their own shit, but also I don't think that that's necessary because there's so much going on here, and I just want to make sure that it can't get screwed up. So I think I just need to be very precise on what I choose for the outcomes or the results or whatever you want to call them. And even as far as the emojis go, I have to be very careful with what I'm just pasting some shit in here. Hold on. I have to be very careful. So I have no show. So no space, show, space, and then that outlined straight face emoji. And that's it. Then we have canceled, space, and then no phone emoji. Like the no phone with the red cross over the phone. We have ghosted, space, ghost emoji. If somebody doesn't want the emojis, I have to go through and I'd have to remove. I'd have to see what I have to do. So I click here, go to all. I come over here and I click on, I'm in the wrong thing. I come down here and I click on no show. Click on this and I have to remove the little emoji, backspace. And then I'd have to go and do that. It would just, dude, oh my Lord. So I just want to make sure that I think this through as best as I possibly can so that everything is accounted for and that it's future-proofed and that I don't have to worry about the things that I'm talking about. But it's just, I just feel like the likelihood that I nail it is just so slim. There's so many variables here. Inbound, outbound, from Instagram, from Facebook, from TikTok. Was it from ads? Was it from ads? Was it an outbound or was it an inbound ad? Was it an inbound organic from Instagram? You can say, for example, you can say Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Then you can say inbound or outbound for all of those. So that doubles. And then you can say inbound story post. You can say that for all of those. Or outbound, or not. I guess that would be well, I guess it could be inbound if they replied to you from your story post, and it would be outbound if you replied to them through their story post. And so all we have is 3 platforms, and there's already 9 variables. And we're not even talking about ads. We're not even talking about, ebook, giveaway, comments, likes, follow. We're not talking about any of that shit, bro. I mean, that's a whole other goddamn beast. I just don't know how to track that effectively, efficiently, cleanly. I don't know how to do that. Because I can make each category or each part of the source, like inbound, Instagram lead or whatever. I can make one thing for inbound or outbound, and they choose that. And then the next one would be paid/organic or paid or organic. And then even if I did that all the way through, I'd have to come up with the combinations. So it would be paid organic Instagram Reels, and that would be a category. And that would be organic Instagram Reels, and that would be a category. And then it would just get so messy so quick. I don't know. The more I think about that, the more I feel like that is a good route to take because it accounts for everything. And just the amount of data that we could have with that would be very valuable. But realistically speaking, if I bought a thing for 10 grand and I can track, I'm just going to exaggerate. If I can track 1,000 different metrics, I don't even know where I'd start. Like, I don't even know. And if it's specific to the lead source, I guess it just depends. I don't know. I think it's valuable. What goes through my head is I just got to figure out a way to present the data that is easy to look at. And there's no way to do that because it's columns, right? It's man, this is tough, dude. Oh my hell. I'm just trying to think if I could make this vertical rather than horizontal because everything in Notion is a table. And I'm going to pause real quick and try to think this through. Hold on. All right, I'm back. I'll be honest, I don't know where I left off, but I know I paused to try to figure some shit out. I did figure it out, and it is very cool. Like the whole process in the back end side of things is pretty badass because you have to make a code and attach that code to a certain link and blah, blah, blah. And it would work. It would just be a monster. Again, just further adding to how big this thing is. And I actually asked ChatGPT to help me out with this. Now, it gave me a lot of shit, and I don't think I would need this shit. But, for example, what I just barely made was there's 3 columns. One says in or out, so inbound or outbound. Then there's an app, Facebook or Instagram. And then there's a type, story reply or post comment. So with these 3 columns with 2 possibilities each, we have a total of 8 combinations of these 6 tags. And that is so minimal. That's 8. That means there's 8 rows right there that I'd have to build. So I asked ChatGPT, given all the columns that I would need, it says 1 for inbound, out one for platform, third one for the action or trigger type, so post, comment, story, reply, direct message, click, ad, click, profile, visit, whatever, all that stuff. Fourth one, organic and paid. And then there's the format and medium, which that just gets really complex, So like text, image, video, audio, carousel, live stream. Then there's entry point, which I don't think I would do this, but it is feed, post, story, ad placement, search, hashtag, group, community, marketplace. I wouldn't do that. So we're going to do remove column 6 altogether because it gave me a ridiculous number and I'm going to share it in a second. Cold outreach, events, partnership, collab, referral, affiliate. Get rid of, I can get rid of 6 and 7. I can get rid of 8 as well. So with everything that it gave me, it said there's 2.3 million possible combinations. So I just told it to, okay, so this is a lot better, but still, what the fuck? So I just went from 2.4 million to 6,048. That's the power of numbers right there. So there's 6,048 different combinations that could happen if I have all these different columns. It's just pretty much just saying where a lead came from. And the amount of data that you can have with that is absolutely unbelievable. So you could track based on all of this stuff which clients convert the most out of all of these. So out of all the 6,048 different combinations of a way that you could get a lead, there you could see which one gets the most responses, which one you are able to send the calendar link to the most, which one books the most calls, and also which one no-shows the most, which one cancels, which one shows but is not interested, which one shows but is not qualified, which one shows but does make a deposit, which ones sell. And you can see the average amount of time spent talking to each one of these categories. And you can see the amount of days it takes to convert someone from each one of these sources to a paying client. But the problem now is that there's 6,000 different fucking categories. And, there's a lot. There's a lot. I could simplify this quite a bit by just doing, what if I just did column 1, column 2 with only major platforms, column 3 with basic functions of social media, column 4, and column 5. What would the total be then? So I'm going to see if I can chop this up a little bit. Okay, so now we're at 288 possibilities. Now that's much better. That is a lot better. That is 10 times better. Not literally, but yeah, so I could take this route, but that means I'd have to think up every possible combination myself. I'd use AI for that, but then I would assign a code because, oh shit, dude. I have to assign a code because how it works is that in a second database, it looks at the roll-up and it counts it and it matches it. So if the name is this, so like if the name is inbound Facebook story replies and the code is also A1, then count it. And that's how I'd be able to count everything up. But again, this just gets fucking massive. Fucking massive immediately. And I don't want to make any... Dude, see, this is the problem, man. Like, this whole thing alone is like a 2-week project, at the amount of time that I have per week. Now, if I were to, quit everybody else and just focus on this immediately becomes... Wow, dude. This would become a 3 or 4 day project, actually, because 20 hours a week, 2 weeks, it's 40 hours. I could actually do that in a lot less. I could do that in half a week, actually. I don't know. Dude. So complex, so quick, and I don't know if I should be even thinking about this right now. I need to go to bed. It's 10:24 now. Should have gone to bed 20 minutes ago. Whatever. So that's where we're at with everything. I hope tomorrow's a lot better. Tomorrow I'm gonna... Let's see. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up, do my own stuff, work with Mina for 4.5 hours, do my thing, and then spend the evening with PT Dom. So anyway, that's that. I'm really... Oh my hell, dude. I'm not well mentally right now. I'm so overwhelmed. The shit just got so complex so fast. It's only because I know about it now. Because if I make anything less than what I just came up with, I'll know that it's not what it could be. And it's like I'm wasting my time making something less than when I know it could be so much more powerful. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just make levels to this. You know, I'll make the basic version, and then as time goes on, I'll make the more intense stuff. And then I'll make an upsell or something like that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I gotta go to bed, though. Sleep is crucial. So, love you guys. I'm out. Probably gonna upload this tomorrow because I just want to go to sleep. I'm so done with today. So, love you guys. Peace out.